Hi, Jason Spangler, the SanteeSwapper, back with another unboxing. This time, really interesting, this is the collection of a scouter who went to the 1957 National Scout Jamboree. Now, I rarely get collections from people that are in the South. I don't know why. I live in Charlotte, I grew up in the South, but this guy actually grew up in Virginia, and so some of the items he has are from Virginia and some are ones that he traded for. So he and I have talked on the phone, we've exchanged emails, we've already made a deal, I've mailed him a check, and he's excited to get these items recycled back into scouting. Stick around, let's see what's inside this box. All right, as you can see, I've got some bags of patches falling out of this box. The box wasn't very big, but I know there's some good stuff in it because, as I said, we messaged back and forth and I've seen these items. So interestingly enough, this gentleman did not send me everything. He actually had a beautiful red jacket that his mom sewed, and he was still kind of amazed all these years later at the work she had done. There was just maybe 100 patches sewn down the sleeve, the arms, the back, everywhere. But also including his Eagle medal, his son wanted to keep those items. But these other items he was happy to send to me, and I sure was happy to get them. So let me show you what he had. Now, some of you who've watched my videos before will know that I'm an Order of the Arrow collector. That's how I grew up. I was a lodge chief, section chief, etc. And so when I saw this collection, I was definitely happy to see there were so many Order of the Arrow items in here. In fact, right here, I'll slide up for you and show you, this was actually his absolute favorite patch. In fact, he was one of these folks that was kind of curious about values and stuff, so we talked about some things back and forth. And he really thought that this Nanuk, because in his recollection of trading for it in '57, that it was from Alaska, he thought that was like the best patch out of all here, which it is pretty nice. But he does have some other great patches as well. I'll put these up here to let you see some OA flaps. Now, interestingly enough, if you went to the 1957 Jamboree, this would have been just about the time that Order of the Arrow flaps would have really come out and been something to get. I know my lodge that I grew up in, 1957 was the year that we issued our first lodge flap. And so as I go through here, I see there are some lodge flaps in this collection, but there's also odd shapes. And so you go through the collection here, and again, he's from Virginia. So here is a cuckoo, that's a Virginia patch. There's other ones here from different parts. It's not just Virginia, but here are a couple more Virginia patches. That's a Powhatan item there. And then he also has a couple of conclave patches. I actually collect conclave patches myself, and so these will be going in my collection. Happy to get those, and here's another one actually. And then there's also what we might call odd shape patches in this collection. Again, Order of the Arrow specific here now. So this one kind of a shield design. This one what we would call an arrowhead design. And then we have things like odd shapes, right? So just different little odd shape patches, even rounds. Here's a blue heron, which is the Tidewater Council, a 1957 Fall Fellowship patch. And then here's a patch, I believe that's from another part. And then there's a neckerchief here. Let's see what's on the neckerchief. I confess, oh yeah, okay. So everybody's seen this guy before. This is the lodge in the National Capillary Council, a Mangamek Whippet. So you've probably seen that guy before. Slide him under there. I think that what he did was he sort of sorted things between Order of the Arrow and then some other items. In fact, he sent me pictures, so these bags actually match up with the pictures that he sent me. So here's something kind of unusual. Let me pour this out. I asked him about this because there's literally in this collection, there are like half a dozen square Eagle Scout patches. And so I asked him about this. I said, well, where did you get half a dozen Eagle Scout patches? Because typically all of these look like they were perhaps sewn at one point. And so it just seems sort of odd for an Eagle Scout to have that many Eagle Scout patches. I'm not sure that he really had an answer for me on that, but you know, it's all good. I'm not complaining. I'm happy to get them. I know when I was a kid growing up, I thought square Eagle Scout patches were really, really cool and special. So that's pretty cool to get those. There's a lot of other patches here I know you guys would like to see, so I'll just throw them up on there. Some camp patches. And again, these are from all over. There's a camp patch from Michigan, and there's one from where he was from there in Virginia. some Jamboree patches, again, more camp patches. So again, pretty cool that a collection where at the 1957 Jamboree, he was doing some patch trading, and you can see from the patch trading that he has a sampling of items just from all over. Even a nice felt here, Daniel Boone Powwow Camp Wakanda, that's pretty cool. Anything from 1940s that's felt that has survived all these years, that's pretty cool to get. And then there is, randomly here, 1985 Jamboree. Have no idea why there'd be 85 Jamboree patch, although he did already mention his son, and so it's possible that his son maybe would have gone to that Jamboree, just not sure about that. Another bag here to take a look at. Again, so this would be the 57 Jamboree that he attended. In here, not surprisingly, there's also a 53 Jamboree. I'm sure he could have traded for that. Some more similar patches, Jamborees, camp patches. Again, here's a felt activity patch, which those are usually always pretty good. I don't remember if he went to this patch I just laid up as a Philmont training week that he could have gone to, and I'm not sure. I have to go back and ask him if he did that. Then here's like a cool contingent council patch from 1957, and then this would have gone in there. Region 6 would have been the patch that he would have worn. Again, just lots and lots of 1950s cut edge patches. And you know, I kind of say this in other videos, I love buying vintage collections. I got my Eagle in 1989, so that's definitely obviously during the time period where we start having computer design, computer stitching, and everything else. So to get a collection that's just all these 1950s cut edge patches, whether they be Jamborees, camp patches, whatever, that's just something I love. That just feels to me like, you know, really vintage, really special. Over here in this bag, he's got some more stuff. I mean, again, this is literally like the 7th Eagle Scout patch I've seen in this collection. Let me show you these. These are a little different. So let me throw these up. So Blue Ridge Council. All right, here's the thing. This is called a red and white half strip. And so prior to there being modern, what we would know as CSPs, you had a couple of iterations. Well, this would be a good way to sort of show the history lesson here. I know we have some people on my channel who are a little newer to collecting. So kind of go through what I've got there. A community strip would have been a town, and that town would have had a state strip underneath it. Then we also had true red and white strips, which were council issued strip. That's what that National Capital Area Council is. But then some councils also had a half strip where they had the council name just on a half strip, which that's what the Blue Ridge Council was. Those are a little more rare. You don't see those quite as much, and not every council chose to do that, but he has several of these, which probably tells me when he went to the Jamboree in 57, that's what he was wearing on his uniform. And the reason why that kind of makes sense is because you were representing the council when you were on a Jamboree contingent. You weren't just representing your town. And so it would make sense that he would have that. So you can see this guy was growing up in Roanoke. You know, earlier, in this pile here, there was a Philmont patch. Let's see if I can go back and find it. I know I've already buried it under here. Here it is. There was a Philmont patch, but what I'm noticing in this pile is actually some patches that I think go with that. I could be wrong, and somebody will point this out in the comments if I am, but some of these segments look like they are segments that go with the Philmont patch. And so when you went to Philmont in the 1950s, you would have had the opportunity to do these different activities, and maybe it was a little petty that they would give you this tiny little segment to go with it. But that's how the program worked. And so actually, here's another one. Yeah, I know this one's Philmont. I recognize that one there. So he had some little Philmont segments to go with that. Just a bunch of other stuff here, including, again, of course, more Square Eagle Scout patches. All right. And in this bag, we have yet another Square Eagle Scout patch to go with his merit badge sash as well. So his son decided, I guess he didn't want to keep the merit badge sash, Dad's old sash. But again, just take a look at this guy here. You know, felt patches don't really last that long. They're pretty vulnerable to bugs eating them and moisture and everything else. And so to get those felt patches is nice. And then here's his merit badge sash. So as you can see here, this is he's an Eagle Scout. As I said, his son kept the medal and Dad's patch jacket that has a bunch of stuff. But all of these are the khaki crimped edge patches from the 1960s. A lot of merit badges here, ones that everyone would probably recognize. So this is a great collection for me to get, the kind of collection I love. It's really a time capsule collection where the guy did his scouting in the 1950s. I'm not even sure I could go through here. There might be some patches in the early 60s, but really a lot of it's 1950s. And other than that stray 1985 Jamboree patch, I really don't see anything more. This guy did well in life. He was a lawyer, a judge even, was pretty active. And so it was really interesting talking to him, but he's in his retirement years and he was trying to clean things out. And other than his son who wanted to keep a few special things, all of these other items were kind of extraneous. And so found me on the internet. We worked up a deal for me to buy these. So I'm really excited. Once I turn the video off, I'm gonna go through here and sort these guys out. I really have no idea how many Square Eagle patches were in this collection, but I think they're kind of cool. Any Eagle Scout today would think that was a super cool Eagle Scout present, and that's where a couple of those might end up. So thanks again, Jason Spangler, the SanteeSwapper. Go to my website, scoutpatchcollectors.com. There you can find my Hot Finds newsletter. I do videos, I have a podcast, all kinds of stuff for the Scout memorabilia collecting community.